Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is well on this Monday morning, Monday afternoon or Monday evening across the world where you may be. And today I've got an article for you from the lovely Melanie Sykes, who is a TV broadcaster here in the UK. She recently went public about her autism diagnosis on the TV chat show Loose Woman, and I want to follow my video up from what I did about her. And she recently talked about autism spectrum disorder needs to stop being called autism spectrum disorder, which I totally agree with her about. And I felt as an autistic woman it was important to bring you this video and to talk about the topic in detail from my own autistic perspective. And what I will do is I'm going to read the article that she actually talks about and what she said from her own perspective, and then I'll add my thoughts on towards the end. And please let me know if you agree or disagree with me down in the comments. And yeah, let's get into it. Melanie Sykes is a British TV broadcaster, recently talking about her diagnosis of autism and how autism should not be classed as a disorder. Since she's been diagnosed with autism, she said that the professionals call it a disorder which needs to get scrapped, because it's about the things we can do and not about the things we can't do. The NHS in the UK, which is the National Health Service, does not say autism is an illness or disease, but does recognise it as being called autism spectrum disorder. Autism is often missed in females because we hide and mask it well, and it's not seen too much in girls or women as it is presented in boys and men. Autism is often presented as a male condition because the condition presents itself more widely in boys and men. So why are we still being assessed and treated in the form of a man when we're completely different sex and a completely different perspective? So yeah, I want to add my thoughts onto this article and what she says. And yeah, so let's get into it. So what are my thoughts on Melanie Sykes' article? What my thoughts as an autistic woman is that I completely agree with Melanie Sykes as what she says about autism spectrum needs to be scrapped, being called autism spectrum. I feel that it needs to be scrapped because it implies that we're broken, damaged, bad people, people who are ill, sick. And it's not the case at all. A lot of people on the autism spectrum, we're very, very different. It's a spectrum for a reason, because we have people who have very, very required specialist needs, to people like myself who are more on the independent spectrum side of things. So for people like me, I'm very independent. I have minimal support. I do nearly everything myself. I live by myself. I'm able to do things like go out into my community myself, travel by myself. But I do have little tiny bits of support, like going to restaurants, going to pubs and restaurants, theatres. Like often I'll go with my best friend or my dad. So again, I do agree that there is different needs and different spectrums to what she pointed out. And then I also agree with her that it's about the public and professionals, how they say autism. I want to totally agree with her and say that the public needs to educate themselves and stop calling it a disorder, because the word disorder to me implies that we're broken, damaged, that we can't be fixed, or that we need to be fixed because we're abnormal or we're a danger to the public. And this is so far from the truth. And I hate the word disorder being used. Like, I never, ever, 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 ever use the word disorder when it comes to autism on my videos or for myself. I don't identify as someone who has a disorder. I call it autism spectrum condition, which means I manage the way that I live with it. I don't let it control me. I don't let it define me. I'm very much an independent person who is autistic. I'm proud to be autistic. I've said that on countless videos. So again, we should replace the word disorder with condition, because it's the way we live with it and adapt with it and deal with it. And I think that people need to understand that we are on different spectrums, we are in different positions, and Melanie Sykes is obviously very different to how I am. She presents a lot more differently to how I'm able to do things. There may be things she's able to do that I'm not, or there may be things I'm able to do that she's not. So again, it's difference of perception and how different we are on the spectrum. Also, I think we need, as a society, to get away from calling it an autism spectrum disorder, because society sees it as, oh, you have a medical condition, you have a disorder, oh, we have to treat you differently, oh, you don't function properly, oh, you don't communicate properly. Hello? Are you realising that people are different? Are you realising that people like me just need a little bit more adaptations, a little bit more support to communicate properly? I want to be part of society. I want to be able to help you guys communicate to me. But unfortunately, the world sees me as a person who's damaged and limited and restricted. And that's so far from the truth. I do so much stuff on my own. I can't even begin to tell you how different we are. So again, society needs to stop using the word disorder. I can't stand it. I think that it's just a shame that people still use the word disorder to me, and people like myself. So yeah, please stop using the word disorder when it comes to autism, because we're not broken, we're not damaged, and we're people who are just neurodiverse. We're people who are on the neurodiverse spectrum. Also, I want to appreciate that we're all different. We're all people who have different needs, different severities, different levels, different traits, different symptoms. So I agree, I'm not talking from the whole autistic perspective. I'm talking only from my perspective and how I see the world through my autistic perspective. So I totally agree where Mel is coming from. Also for me, I would love if people in the health service, people in the medical field, people in the psychology field, people in the mental health field would stop using the word disorder, because it's kind of saying, oh, well, you've been diagnosed with this, and then there's no support afterwards. So again, it's the wording, it's the language. Again, it comes down to terminology. Each person will see the world a little bit differently than what I do, but just please, please, please stop using the word disorder. I can't tell you how that winds me up and patronizes me, because it's like, oh, well, you have a disorder. Oh, you're broken. You need to be fixed. You don't function properly. Yes, I do function 90% of the time, alright, but it's just that the fact I need a little bit more support with going out, things like shopping, things like going to pubs and clubs and things like that. But please, if we can get away from the word disorder, society will be a lot better at understanding who we are as individuals. And I think also that we need to just rename it as autism spectrum condition. So when you associate yourself with someone who may be autistic, use the words autism spectrum condition, or autism, or autistic, or Aspie, or something that is seen as a positive thing, because otherwise, if you keep using the word autism spectrum disorder, that makes a person feel worthless, voiceless. It's patronizing them, it's putting them down, it's making them feel that they don't have a voice. So let me know if you agree with me down below in the comments, and I will link the article down below in the video description as well, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye!